The hidden fortune my daughter didn't know about. Her broke speech was surprising. Lily's voice quivered as she stood in front of her classmates, the weight of her family's struggles coiling like a serpent in her stomach. "We're not just struggling for cash, we're broke." The words tumbled from her lips like stones dropping from a cliff, heavy and unforgiving. Anger swirled within her, fueled by years of watching her mother, Sarah, toil away night after night, nights spent nursing patients while they barely scraped by. The refrigerator door creaked under the weight of their meager meals, a stark contrast to the dream she had painted in her mind of going to college, of escaping this pattern of modesty. As she swept her gaze across the audience, she saw faces etched with sympathy, but also something else, apathy born from comfort. "I see you all with your new shoes and fancy phones," she spat out, regretting the bitterness but unable to stop it. It felt good to voice her suppressed feelings, but in the pit of her stomach lingered the gnawing fear. What if this exposed too much? What would they think if they knew? Her pulse raced, memories of their cramped home rushing back, the nights spent cramming for exams under dim light while her mother worked overtime. Every A felt like a small victory against the bleak backdrop of financial insecurity. She hesitated, wondering if this speech, birthed from raw emotion, would reverberate through the crowd or fall flat. Could vulnerability open a door to understanding, or would it merely deepen the divide between her and the comfortably affluent? Before the assembly ended, she felt a flicker of triumph. Yet the reality of her life loomed in the shadows, exacerbated by the knowledge that many in the room had no comprehension of their struggles, the heavy burden she carried alone. Hours later, as the echoes of applause faded, her phone buzzed incessantly, shattering her momentary victory. Sarah's voice trembled on the other end, tension thick in the air. "Lily, we need to talk about your grandfather." The words twisted in Lily's mind, a mixture of concern and intrigue. Grandpa, the specter from a forgotten past, had always been an enigma, his absence like a gaping hole in their family narrative. She barged into the kitchen, heart racing. "Mom, why didn't you tell me he left something for us?" Confusion blossomed into anger. All this time, we could have had support. Why hide it? The frantic dialogue spiraled, her mother's silence amplifying Lily's inner storm. Betrayal rushed through her, entangling with the unresolved frustration swirling within. Had Sarah kept this a secret because she feared being judged, or was there an unwillingness to face whatever legacy came from a family she barely knew? Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. With every accusation that slipped from her lips, Lily clung to the hope that discovering this inheritance could bridge her past with the future she craved. But as she stood there, the confrontation drawing breath, it was evident that the legacy was far more than a mere fortune. It was fraught with the weight of family honor, unspoken sacrifices, and an identity entwined in bitterness. The room felt smaller, each breath punctuated by an anxiety that danced on her chest. Confusion and sorrow collided, leaving her questioning everything she thought she knew. The tangled threads of her family's history began to unravel as she contemplated the hidden layers of love, hardship, and ambition, whispering in her ear, "What once was, now calls to her." Each unanswered question loomed larger than the last, echoing through her mind as she faced the uncertain path ahead. Would this newfound fortune bring them solace or only more strife? She sensed the weight of her family's past, and the implications tore at her resolve. The deeper she delved, the more lost she felt, standing on the precipice of change with nothing but the unknown below. The air in the kitchen crackled with tension. each word hanging heavy between mother and daughter. At the edge of breaking point, Lily felt her heart twist with the weight of unspoken truths. "Mom, just tell me already, what did he leave us?" Her voice was sharper than intended, cutting through the charged atmosphere. Sarah hesitated, her eyes darting away instinctively, as if a glance at Lily would shatter the fragile veneer she had maintained for years. "He left property. It's not much, really. A rundown house in a small town, but it's part of a legacy," she finally said, the betrayal in her tone echoing the one Lily felt. "A legacy?" Lily scoffed, the bitterness creeping back. It wasn't the fortune she dreamed of. It felt like a weight, a burden laced with years of neglect and mystery. The house was a distant memory, a place Sarah had rarely mentioned, shrouded in secrets. "You've got to be kidding me. What do you want me to say, Lily?" Sarah's voice cracked, revealing a vulnerability both frightening and raw. "It's complicated. Your grandfather was troubled. He didn't take care of his family or the house." The lines of Sarah's face softened almost imperceptibly with regret as she spoke. Lily felt the room begin to spin, the conversation swirling around her in a dizzying vortex of emotions. Could this dilapidated legacy provide the security she had always desired, or would facing it demand more than she was prepared to give? She recalled her speech, the power she felt infused, exposing their struggles. But laying bare the reality of her grandfather's life was something else altogether. Complicated how? Her voice was quieter now, intrigued yet wary. "What did he do?" "We had our reasons for staying away." Sarah opted for silence, but Lily could see the shadows flitting across her mother's expression. They lingered just beyond the surface, hinting at stories unsaid. Frustration twisted in Lily's gut. Urge collided with caution. Here was an opportunity, yet another influence to navigate in her tumultuous life. Would she become the architect of her destiny, or merely another player in a family drama stretching across time? The debate raged within her, drawing on everything she learned from her struggles. Could she encapsulate both her family's pain and her ambitions in this search for understanding? The thought of standing in that house, once belonging to someone she barely knew, sent shockwaves through her resolve. "Look, we have to decide what to do next." Sarah's tone shifted, turning practical amidst the turmoil. "It could be a stabilizing force, but it requires effort." It was a challenge cloaked in opportunity, the prospect of reclaiming something long lost. Fear rippled through Lily. She could sense the pressure pushing against her heart. Was she ready to take on this inheritance? To uncover the truths that stalked her family? A decision loomed large on this horizon, but what was hidden behind it was a transformation, not just of property, but of identity. She owed it to herself to confront this legacy that had fueled so much of her life's resentment. "Let's go see it," Lily stated firmly, the resolve deepening in her voice. "If it's really part of us, then we have to face it." Her mother's eyes widened, a flicker of fear darting across them. "You're sure?" "I need to know what it is, what it means for us," Lily replied, a mix of determination and trepidation alighting within her. The weight of her past meshed with the gravity of her future, propelling her into uncharted territory. As they planned their visit, expectations hung palpably. For Lily, she sensed this was merely the beginning of a further unraveling, a deeper engagement with her lineage. Little did she know, the house held not only old family secrets, but whispers of resilience and hidden talents she had yet to uncover. What awaited her at that doorstep might very well unearth skills she didn't realize she possessed, potentially altering the trajectory of her life forever. Was she ready to confront not just a house, but the echoes of a legacy long buried? For each answer she sought, a myriad of questions emerged, promising that the journey ahead would test her resolve as never before. The drive to the small town felt interminable, each mile stretching Lily's resolve thin. The rearview mirror reflected a past she was eager to escape, yet in front of her loomed the uncharted territory of her heritage. Her mind raced with questions. What kind of house lay ahead? What faceless memories lurked within its walls? Sarah's silence was palpable, and Lily sensed her mother's unease. This was ultimately a rescue mission, yet here they were, acting as reluctant participants in a connected specter of family history. The weight settled like a lead blanket on both of them, heavy with expectations and unarticulated fears. "What do you feel about this?" Lily finally asked, seeking a foothold in their shared uncertainty. Sarah hesitated, her knuckles white on the steering wheel. "I don't know, Lily. I haven't set foot there in years. It brings back complexities." Her voice softened, but Lily could detect the struggle behind the facade. Each revelation draped a new layer over their relationship, links forging between past events and present actions. Complexities. The word hung in the air, almost tangible. Lily understood that it was more than just a house that awaited them. It was a confrontation with shadows. The anticipation of unearthing painful memories trembled along her spine, yet deep down she felt an ember of determination ignite. "Complexities can mean opportunities, Mom," she offered, analyzing her mother's tight expression. "We can either view this as a burden or as a chance to understand where we come from. It could be healing." Sarah's brow furrowed, words heavy on her tongue, as if struggling against an unseen force. "Maybe, but healing takes time. Are you prepared for what you might discover?" Could she ever be prepared? This journey was as much about confronting buried emotions as it was about reclaiming the family heritage. Determination surged within her. Lily could sense it intensifying her pulse. Maybe it was time to take ownership. Maybe this was the leap she needed to better define herself amid chaos. Arriving at the house felt surreal. The structure stood stooped under the weight of time, paint peeling and windows clouded over with neglect. For a fleeting moment, shadowy memories of laughter and warmth flickered through her mind, memories she hadn't experienced, but felt instinctively. "What if it's a disaster?" Sarah's voice quaked behind her. "Then at least we can know the truth," Lily replied firmly, stepping out of the car. Each step toward the front door resonated with the rhythm of a heartbeat, a blend of anticipation and dread harmonizing within her. She felt her mother beside her, a quiet strength emanating from the woman she had often viewed through a lens of disappointment. Pushing the door open was like awakening a long-dormant spirit. Dust motes danced in the sunlight, filtering through the grimy windows, illuminating the remnants of lives once lived. Each creak of the floorboards echoed a story layered beneath her feet, beckoning her to explore. As she wandered through the house, her heart raced with each unlocked room. There was a strange comfort in the decay, an invitation to breathe life back into forgotten spaces. She fanned through stacks of old papers, discovering letters that spoke of dreams and despair, hopes wrapped in vulnerability, met with closing doors. "Lily," her mother called from the hallway, her voice breaking the spell. "You need to see this." Lily turned the corner, her eyes wide with curiosity, only to find a weathered trunk at the end of the hall, a relic stuffed with memories, open just a crack. The potential of its contents stirred something deep within her, anticipation bubbling to the surface like boiling water ready to spill. Would she find treasures within, or merely remnants of burdens past? The choice loomed large: confront the past or let it dictate her future. And as she reached for the trunk, the pivotal moment pulsed with energy, ready to change everything: her identity, her ambitions, her family legacy. What more awaited beyond that simple clasp? With her heart racing, she hesitated for a fraction of a second before lifting the lid, ready to uncover whatever lay beneath. Questions and revelations intertwined as she prepared to delve deeper than she ever had before. Lily's fingers trembled as she grasped the lid of the trunk, the weight of her family's past suddenly palpable. With a cautious breath, she lifted it fully, revealing a time-worn collection of photographs, brittle letters, and an assortment of mementos that hinted at stories left untold. Dust swirled in the air, wrapping around her like an embrace from the generations that had come before. The first item she reached for was a photograph of a young woman, vibrant and smiling beneath a sun-drenched sky. It was her grandmother, a face Lily had only known through the tales Sarah reluctantly shared. She felt drawn to the picture, imagining her grandmother's laughter weaving through the stories. What dreams had she carried? What paths had she left behind? "Do you recognize her?" Sarah's voice broke through the silence, tinged with a mixture of nostalgia and regret. "Just a little," Lily replied, surprised by the softness in her tone. It was a connection formed through the shared acknowledgement of a woman who had lived, loved, and experienced heartache. In that instant, the complexity Sarah described melted from daunting to beautifully intricate, a tapestry waiting to be unraveled. As she fanned through the letters, words jumped out. Fragments of harsh realities mixed with echoes of warmth, raw emotion captured in ink. One letter in particular caught her eye, a testament of unfulfilled dreams addressed to a dear friend. It spoke of aspirations to travel, to experience life beyond the confines of small-town expectations. Lily felt a surge of kinship, a yearning echoed in her own soul. "This is incredible," she breathed, lifting a letter to show her mother. But Sarah's expression remained solemn, eyes glazed as if trying to pierce through layers of unprocessed trepidation. "Sometimes those dreams come with regrets," Sarah muttered, her voice carrying the weight of caution. "But they're also a reminder of resilience," Lily pushed back gently. "These letters, this trunk, it's all proof they lived authentically." The urge to advocate for her grandmother surged within her, igniting a passion she had not anticipated. Perhaps those complexities Sarah feared could also signal moments of strength, lessons learned through hardship. A more personal ideal gripped Lily, one she never realized she craved, bringing to life a narrative long forgotten. Her fingers traced the contours of the delicate papers, the emotional landscape of a family laid bare before her. Each letter was an invitation to reclaim stories and perhaps redefine their meanings. "Lily, be careful with those memories," her mother warned, tightening her grip on the doorframe. But instead of retreating, Lily stood taller, fortified by revelation. "I want to understand," she asserted, tone steady. "This isn't just about you or me, it's about a legacy. We can learn from this." As she delved deeper into the trunk, she stumbled upon something unexpectedly heavy, a small box bound with fraying twine. Possibilities danced in her mind, revealing pathways of potential. What if her grandmother had left behind not just memories, but something of value? The box felt different, an anchor to their past that could forge their future. "Mom, look at this!" Lily exclaimed, adrenaline coursing through her veins. She struggled to untie the twine, anticipation and fear swirling within her, mixing like storm clouds before a thunderstorm. Would this box contain treasures or woes? Either way, the pivotal act of opening it felt like a declaration of courage, a relentless pursuit of truth. The air in the hallway crackled with tension as both women held their breath. Would they unlock a hidden fortune or unearth burdens that would weigh them down? The heart of their family's story pulsed through that small box, and with a steady push, Lily felt ready to confront whatever might emerge next, her newfound determination pushing her forward even as unsettling questions lingered. As the knot began to yield beneath her fingers, dread ignited within her. What she discovered could change the course of their lives or shatter the fragments of their history even further. Either way, she couldn't turn back now. Just as the twine snapped free, a sudden noise from the hallway drew their attention. Someone else was entering the house, an unfamiliar presence interrupting their intimate revelations. Lily's breath hitched, a visceral reminder that her journey was only just beginning. What lay ahead was a confrontation that would test every newfound resolve she had discovered. Lily's heart raced at the sound of footsteps approaching. In that moment, the thrill of discovery hung heavy in the air, slipping away like sand through her fingers. She turned slowly, her breath shallow, as if the very act of inhaling might shatter the fragile equilibrium that had settled between her and her mother. Who dared breach their sanctuary now? The door swung open. A young man, no older than Lily, stepped into the light, his expression a mixture of confusion and curiosity. His dark hair contrasted sharply with the luster of the afternoon sun pouring through the hallway window. I didn't know anyone was home." He shifted uncomfortably on his feet, eyes darting between mother and daughter, evaluating the sudden tension. "Lily, this—"
"Aaron, he's a neighbor," Sarah interjected, the formality of her tone sending ripples of irritation through Lily. "Yeah, just came to drop off that package," Aaron said, his voice hesitant but friendly. He offered a small smile, but the atmosphere was dense with unspoken words, a weighty silence only broken by the rustle of the letters still clenched in Lily's hands. "Thanks," Lily managed, struggling to regain her focus and not let her curiosity drown in the disquiet he brought. Aaron might have been a mere distraction, but his presence stirred something else. A resurgence of the questions that had been percolating ever since she opened that trunk. What had her grandmother left behind? What truths resided within the confines of that box? As Aaron retreated slightly, glancing back toward the hallway, Lily made a decision in that instant. This encounter could either scatter the newfound energy that had surged within her, or serve as a catalyst for what came next. "Do you want to see something?" she asked, surprising even herself with how naturally the invitation slipped out. Aaron's brow knit in surprise, but he stepped forward, intrigued. "Sure, what is it?" Lily exchanged a quick glance with her mother. Sarah's reluctance was palpable, but this was not her decision to make. She had found a voice and she intended to use it. "It's my grandmother's trunk. I found it in the attic." With each step they took back toward the trunk, Lily felt the weight of her own aspirations rise to meet her. It was one thing to delve into her past alone, but sharing this intimate exploration ignited a spark of excitement and vulnerability. Maybe Aaron would see the beauty in her family's legacy, just as she had begun to. If she could communicate that passion, a narrative of resilience could emerge, bolstered by another perspective. As they reached the trunk, Lily's fingers brushed against the box once more, its fraying twine now tantalizingly loose. "Do you think it's treasures or burdens?" she asked him, her composure leading him into a deeper conversation. "I guess it depends on what you choose to see," he replied, his insight piercing through her insecurities. With renewed resolve, she tied back her hair, channeling the resilient spirit she had discovered within those letters. She released the lid fully, the aroma of old paper enveloping her as she lifted the box from its confines. The moment felt surreal. Every taunt of uncertainty faded as she caught a glimpse of the contents within, a collection of postcards, tickets, and even a faded journal. Her grandmother's voice was whispering through the artifacts, a siren song calling to hidden parts of Lily's identity. "What do you think?" she asked Aaron, gesturing toward the contents spread before them. He leaned in, studying the letters as if they were a puzzle waiting to reveal their secrets. "This is incredible," he murmured, the straightforward admiration suddenly igniting the fire within her all over again. As they sifted through the memories, before them, buoyed by curiosity and the shared bond of discovery, a newfound confidence blossomed within Lily. But just as she felt the ground beneath her steady, the looming question remained. Could she harness the passion that lay beneath this legacy to forge a path of her own, or would old burdens surface to misguide her? Her thoughts curled around the edges of uncertainty. The journey toward understanding her family's history had unveiled not just a treasure of words, but also a vast expanse of introspection. Lily sensed that this was only the beginning, that what they found within this box would lead her to confront even deeper truths about her own identity. The momentary thrill of the past collided with the uneasiness of the present, amplifying the urgency inside her. What revelations lay hidden, waiting to challenge her every belief, craving her unyielding courage? What if the hidden truths forced her to redefine herself in ways she wasn't prepared for? Just as she began unearthing more finds, the door behind them creaked ominously. Unmistakably, footsteps echoed louder now, heavy and deliberate, reminding them both that they were not alone in this quest. "Is someone else coming?" Aaron asked, his brow furrowing with concern. A wave of apprehension washed over Lily. Whoever it was, she realized, might shift the dynamics of everything she had just started to comprehend about herself. Lily's heart thudded against her ribcage, a visceral reminder of the stakes in this moment. The air was thicker now, tightening around her as the footsteps approached. She exchanged a quick glance with Aaron, whose face had lost its earlier inquisitiveness, replaced by a shared sense of trepidation. Before she could reflect on the implications, the door swung open with force. Sarah stood in the doorway, her expression a mixture of suspicion and protectiveness, her posture emanating an invisible barrier that could shut others out. "Lily," she began, her tone heavy with an edge, as if she were ready to chastise the venture that had momentarily captivated her daughter. "Why are you showing this to him?" The words struck hard against Lily's newfound confidence, forcing her to confront the uncomfortable truth of her mother's persistence in controlling the narrative of their family history. Aaron shifted awkwardly, caught in the crossfire, but Lily felt the pull of both her past and her burgeoning desire for autonomy. "Because this is a part of who I am," she uttered, her voice unwavering, surprising even herself. It was as though the artifacts in the trunk had unleashed a power she didn't know existed. A small breakthrough rumbling at her core, she spoke again, the urgency turning into a plea. "Then how can I find out more about it if I am not allowed to share?" For a brief moment, Sarah's defenses faltered. Her surprise at Lily's assertiveness shifted into a flicker of understanding. But then the moment faded and the flicker extinguished under the weight of entrenched beliefs. "You don't understand. There are things in there that could hurt you," she replied, a warning etched into her features. Portraying vulnerability was not a luxury she intended to afford. "Or they could set we free," Lily countered, the words bursting forth without hesitation. As the tension thickened into a battlefield of wills, Aaron quietly observed, the uncharted territory of family dynamics unfolding before him. "You're digging up old wounds," her mother replied, frustration sharpening her words. The sentiment was tinged with a protective instinct that masked her own fears. "Maybe that's what I need to do, dig deeper." Lily's heart raced at her boldness. It felt liberating, as if with each word she was chiseling away at the years of silence. Aaron stepped in, attempting to bridge the chasm that had suddenly emerged between mother and daughter. "Perhaps if you both talked about it, it might help," he suggested, his voice oddly grounding amidst the charged atmosphere. But their gazes were locked onto each other, the unresolved tension tangible. Sarah's rigid stance reflected years of buried histories, while Lily's unyielding posture illustrated her resolve to carve a new story. It became apparent to both that this moment was not merely about the trunk, but the underlying emotional legacies they had inherited that shaped their identities. With uncertainty weighing heavily on her, Lily took a step back. Could this be the moment of reckoning she needed? She wasn't merely asking questions about the past, she was confronting an entire narrative that shaped them both. Her instinct to unveil truths resonated deeply within. It was her chance to claim her identity, to thrash against the generational silence. But the urgency to discover her own voice clashed with the complexity of family loyalty. Every second felt critical, a vivid reminder that choices had consequences. The trunk was more than just physical artifacts. It was a metaphor for the entangled legacies that had followed them, cloaked in love, but also pain. Lily glanced at Aaron, who offered a quiet nod of support. Against the backdrop of encroaching shadows, she realized that facing her mother was only one part of the journey. It might also reveal hidden aspects of her own character she had yet to unearth. "Let's figure this out together," she said softly, turning her gaze from her mother to the trunk and back again, an olive branch extended. As Sarah struggled with her next words, Lily understood that she was no longer prepared to suppress her thoughts and ambitions. A part of her feared that this was the beginning of a fierce confrontation, yet she also recognized that sometimes unfolding the layers of one's history was the only path to emancipation. They could either face their shared history together or let it bifurcate them forever. Just as silence enveloped them once more, the door creaked open to reveal a shadowy figure lurking outside.
A chill coursed through Lily, and she instinctively stepped closer to Aaron, her instincts heightening. "Is it them?" she whispered, dread pooling at the base of her stomach, the next chapter of her journey about to begin. The figure at the door stepped into the dimly lit room, revealing a tall man with an aura shrouded in mystery. His features were indistinct, partly veiled by the shadows that danced around him, but Lily felt an electric charge spreading through the air. The weight of unresolved questions settled heavily on her, mingling with a brewing sense of urgency. "Who are you?" Sarah's voice was a blend of protective instinct, forceful yet shaken. The tension stretched taut as they all awaited a response that seemed to hang in the balance like a pendulum. "I'm here for the trunk," he said, his tone neither demanding nor timid. Rather, it was laced with an unsettling calmness that sent a chill down Lily's spine. The contents inside, it's time to talk about what's been hidden. Lily's pulse quickened. She glanced at Aaron, whose wide eyes mirrored her own mix of curiosity and fear. Was this man an ally, or did he carry more complex intentions? "Hitting?" Sarah scoffed, stepping forward protectively, her arms crossed tightly against her chest. "What do you know about it?" "I know more than you think," he replied, his gaze fixed on the trunk, acknowledging its presence as if it were an old acquaintance. "And it's time that Lily understands the truth, whatever that may be." The man's gaze shifted to her, a heaviness in his eyes that extended an invitation intertwined with a challenge. A knot formed in Lily's throat. Could this be the breakthrough she was seeking, or would it further entangle them in a web of hidden secrets? "I have to know," she finally managed to voice, the words spilling out with a surprising conviction. "I need to understand what my mother is so afraid of." "Lily, no," Sarah interjected, her alarm manifesting in a sharpness that cut through the air. But the urgency pulsating within Lily had begun to overshadow her mother's apprehensions. She felt as though a door was finally opening, the door she had been quietly prying at for years. "What are you so afraid of, Mom?" Lily countered, surprising herself once again with her refusal to back down. "If there are truths in that trunk, don't I deserve to know?" The man's eyes flickered with something akin to approval, as if he saw in Lily the potential to evolve, an evolution that Sarah resisted with every ounce of her maternal instinct. The juxtaposition of their emotional landscapes reflected a fundamental clash, but within it lay the possibility for growth. With each pulse of tension in the room, Lily grappled with the realization of her burgeoning strength and how it was tethered to the burdens of the past. As she stared at the trunk, she examined the implications it held for her identity. Was embracing the truth worth the disapproval of those she held dear? The weight of the decision pushed against her. "I'll do it," she declared, her voice steady now. "A lighthouse amidst an approaching storm. I want to open it. I want to see what's inside, to face whatever legacy it holds." Every second felt like an eternity as Lily awaited her mother's response, the lines between rebellion and resolution blurring within her. "That's a dangerous road, Lily," Sarah warned, her tone a mix of fear and regret. "You don't know where it leads." "How do you know I won't find myself?" The words poured out, heavy with an uncharted significance. The door behind the man creaked slightly, an unsettling reminder that there were forces at play beyond just the three of them. Shapes emerged from the darkness, flooding into the room, and Lily's heart raced at the realization. This wasn't just a conversation, it was the beginning of something monumental. She took a step forward, her heart and mind aligning towards a singular direction, filled with courage that she had never fully recognized before. Facing the shadows, she would either emerge victorious or redefine the boundaries of her journey. In that charged moment, a question lingered unspoken. What awaited her on the other side of this revelation? Would it reinforce the ties of family, or would it unravel everything she thought she knew? As the shadows advanced, Lily prepared herself. The time had come to confront not just her mother, but the tangled narrative of her existence. What awaited her could reshape everything. The shadows closed in, their presence palpable, each flicker of dim light casting a foreboding atmosphere over the tiny room. Lily stood rooted, caught in the delicate yet fierce struggle between the need for the truth and the comfort of ignorance. The figure before her continued to exude an unsettling calmness, a stark contrast to the turmoil swirling within her. What could possibly lie within that trunk? The unanswered questions clawed at her. Each thought felt like a spark, igniting possibilities that both thrilled and terrified her. She made the decision in that moment, standing tall as she turned toward Sarah, her mother's expression a mixture of disbelief and maternal fear. Did that fear stem from protective instincts or a deeper knowledge of the consequences hidden within the trunk's contents? "Trust me, Mom," Lily said firmly, the words wrapped in a mixture of defiance and hopeful resolution. It was a command disguised as a plea, one that she desperately wanted her to embrace. As she locked eyes with her mother, she felt an unsteady connection, a bridge strained by years of silence that she was now daring to cross. "Trust you?" Sarah's voice was barely above a whisper, tremors of pleading lacing her tone. "You have no idea what you're asking for." That sinking realization struck Lily. The weight of her own desire clashed violently against her mother's fear. But was the truth worth unraveling the fabric of their relationship? She felt strong and yet vulnerable, teetering on the precipice of self-discovery. The man's presence shifted. He watched as if sensing her internal battle, poised for her next move. This was no longer about the trunk. It was about herself. "Mom, if I don't confront this now, it will control me forever," Lily said, her voice steadier. "I need to know if there's more to our story than I've been told. If that trunk holds the power to change my life, I have to face it." Sarah faltered, her defiance flickering. Lily stepped forward again, urgency rippling through her. The environment seemed to reflect her growing resolve. The shadows receded slightly, as if they too were waiting for her next decision. She could no longer allow fear to anchor her in a life dictated by others. The need to forge her own path surged within her. "I can't do this for you," Sarah finally confessed, her barriers crumbling against the onslaught of a daughter ready to break free. "You'll have to do it alone." "And that's the point," Lily responded, emotions swirling into a fierce determination. Alone was a frightful place, but it was also the birthplace of independence. She ached for it, defined by both her ambitions and her experiences. "If I don't face this, I'll always be in the shadow of a past I don't understand." The man's eyes sparkled with an intensity that suggested he understood her journey better than she could fathom. This encounter was no mere artifact exchange. It was a catalyst for transformation. The trunk, filled with secrets and legacies, was the key to unlocking not just her past, but her potential future. With a deep breath, she squared her shoulders, clutching onto the decision with both hands. "I'm ready," she affirmed to the man, her voice echoing in her mind, a promise made to herself. She could feel a shift inside her, a decision that would set her on a path away from her mother's fears and into her own fledgling power. "Let's open it," the man replied, a subtle but anticipatory smile crossing his face. Time felt suspended as he moved toward the trunk. A feeling of inevitability coursed through Lily. The moment had arrived, and she was more than ready. As he reached for the latch, she caught sight of herself in the tarnished metal of the trunk, a reflection of a woman seeking the truth. Resolute, she understood that this was no longer about the past, but the future waiting for her on the other side of the lid. The trunk swung open, revealing its contents, and she braced herself. As the darkness within was unveiled, the room seemed to pulsate with possibility. There, among the whispered secrets, lay not just the burdens of her family, but perhaps the hidden facets of her own identity. What revelations awaited her in the dark? Would the truths she sought empower her, or would they unearth more than she ever anticipated? As the trunk creaked open, the scent of dust and aged wood enveloped the room, wrapping around Lily like a shroud. Her heart raced with every inch the lid revealed, as if the very act of exposing the contents would peel back layers of her own identity. The dim light flickered against the dark items inside, casting ghostly shadows that danced and merged with the surrounding gloom. Lily leaned forward, straining to catch a glimpse of what seemed to shimmer against the darkness. The man remained silent, observing with an intensity that made her both anxious and empowered. This was it, the threshold to understanding who she was outside the confines her mother imposed. With a shaking hand, she pushed back against the remnants of doubt that lingered at the edges of her consciousness. What? Sarah's voice cut through her thoughts like a knife, urgency mingling with palpable disbelief. What if it's something terrible? The question hung in the air, heavy with unspoken fears. It was not just about the trunk's contents. It was about the burdens of legacy, decisions made long before her, and how they shaped a life she led. This confrontation was about more than closure. It was about emancipation, freedom from inherited narratives that dulled her spirit. "Mom," Lily said, adopting a tone filled with resolve, "we can't run from it any longer. It's time to see what we've avoided." She glanced once more at the man, who nodded slightly, affirming her courage. The tension coiling inside her slowly unraveled as she understood that fear could not dictate her journey. With one sweeping motion, she reached into the trunk. Her fingers brushed against soft cloth, a leather journal, and something metallic and cool. Each object told a story, resonating gently against her fingertips, whispering histories. Lily pulled out the journal, its spine cracked and pages yellowed, and her breath caught as she opened it. The first page was filled with neat, elegant handwriting, a stark contrast to the storm swirling within her. It was a diary belonging to her grandmother, and as she read the words, she felt the pull of a distant figure, one who dared to dream and disappoint. Secrets poured forth, bringing to light the struggles that had been buried beneath layers of familial loyalty and silence. "Lily, we should go," Sarah urged, desperation slipping through the cracks of her composure. But Lily's resolve only strengthened. Each word on the cracked pages pulled her deeper into a narrative she hadn't known existed. The struggles of her grandmother mirrored her own, yet were amplified by time, echoing thoughts and choices Lily had grappled with in her own life. "I can't leave this now," Lily replied, aware that she was standing at the crossroads of understanding and denial. "These words, they're not just history, they resonate with everything we've gone through. It's how I can redefine what I thought I understood about us." As she started to read aloud, time shifted. Each revelation felt like a step toward liberation, dismantling the weight of concealed truths. Her mother went pale, caught between fear and realization. Lily could sense the tremors of her mom's apprehension thrumming in the silence that enveloped them. Here in this moment, they were both raw and tender, intertwined in the web of their legacy. The more she read, the more Lily began to see her life unfurl against the backdrop of her ancestry. She grasped her own independence through the lens of her grandmother's experiences, what it meant to forge a path in a world of expectation. It became startlingly clear. Empowerment could spring from confronting the past, and that truth could serve as both a mirror and a guide. "Lily," Sarah finally interjected, her voice trembling, "what if we unearth something too painful to bear?" The weight of that question struck hard, making Lily reconsider, if only for a moment. What if hidden within these pages lay pains that could fracture them further? But as she pictured the trunk, she knew strangling doubts could no longer hold her hostage. "No more what-ifs," she stated, voice firm. "We've come too far." Just as she delved deeper into the journal, the somber atmosphere charged with anticipation, another object caught her eye. Beneath the album of memories, something glinted, something that promised to challenge the very fabric of her understanding and possibly change everything she thought she knew about her family. And that was when she heard it, a faint buzz of her phone vibrating in her pocket, signaling an incoming message. It felt like an omen, a fleeting distraction she couldn't afford. Not now. As Lily contemplated her next move, she felt the echoes of her transformation swelling within her. This was only the beginning, and as the mystery deepened, she could sense both a challenge and an opportunity emerging before her. What awaited her in that message? Could the phone hold clues about her past, or perhaps incite new conflicts that would emerge from the shadows too? In the throbbing silence that stretched with tension, Lily paused, her heart racing. The vibrating phone in her pocket felt like a tether to the outside world, but in that moment, it was the past whispering more loudly than ever. "Mom, just a second," she said, her voice steady even as a thrill of uncertainty washed over her. With deliberate movement, she retrieved her phone, hardly daring to look away from the journal that revealed secrets more vivid than she ever imagined. The message was from Aaron, simple yet tinged with urgency. "Are you okay? I can feel the tension. Let me know if you need me." Lily's breath caught. She took a moment to reflect, realizing how much she had changed since opening that trunk. The strength she had assumed to face her family's past was now amplified by the presence of someone who genuinely cared about her journey. "Everything will be okay," she whispered under her breath, reassuring not only Aaron, but herself. "Lily, we need to leave," Sarah reiterated, her voice strained against a backdrop of history being unearthed. Resolutely, Lily shook her head. "No, we can't turn back. Don't you see? This is a moment for us, a moment we can own. Together." She felt boldness surge through her veins, an electric signal igniting her reason. This wasn't merely about the lies she had hoped to expose. It was about the shared strength they both could harness through understanding. Holding the journal as a shield between fears, she returned her focus to the yellowed pages. "Let's hear it," Lily said to Sarah softly but firmly. "Let's do this together, for once." The fortitude in her voice, fortified by her grandmother's story, swayed Sarah's resolve. The conflict morphed into something different as she momentarily relinquished her guard, settling into the idea that perhaps this was more freeing than fearing what lay buried in their family history. "Okay," Sarah finally said, her voice trembling but willing. "Let's face it." The journal revealed her grandmother's struggles with ambition, choices that rippled across generations, and the love that simultaneously enriched and entangled their lives. Each entry was a chance for Lily to recognize the patterns that plagued her own narrative. And then, at the heart of a significant revelation, Lily saw it. The courage to pursue dreams despite the chains of expectation. Resilience pulsed from its pages, and for the first time, she viewed her lineage not as a burden, but as a wellspring of strength. As she continued reading, the room felt alive, filled with a warmth that encapsulated heritage and potential. Each pulse of admiration and clarity blossomed from the shared understanding emerging between them. Your grandmother, she faced so much, but she still tried, Lily said, her voice unwavering, the realization resounding. There's still time for us to rewrite our story, just like she attempted. For a moment, Sarah's eyes brimmed with emotion, caught between nostalgia and grief. But a flicker of hope illuminated her days, reflecting the readiness for change carried in Lily's steady heart. "I didn't want you to bear those burdens," Sarah whispered, her defenses crumbling. "And I don't want them to control me," Lily replied, feeling a liberation swell within her. "I'm not afraid anymore, Mom. We can choose our own path." As tension mellowed into camaraderie, the shadows that had once loomed over their relationship began to recede. Each word in the journal stoked embers of newfound understanding. Every struggle shared was met with a promise of future collaboration. And then, seeking her voice above the simmering emotions, Lily turned to the trunk once more, pulled by an undeniable urgency to explore further. "Let's see what else is in here," she declared, her tone infused with determination. "Together." The lid creaked open wider, revealing the rusted items alongside her grandmother's journal. A golden locket, a stack of letters tied with fading ribbon, and something even larger wrapped in cloth. With each discovery, the ties to her family began to solidify, and the potency of collective history transformed into something empowering. Lily reached for the locket, feeling its weight against her palm. The image inside hidden away, a family captured in time, shrouded in mystery. The letters spoke of dreams, travels dreamt. This is all part of us, she breathed, absorbing the gravity of belonging in ways she had not anticipated. And as she turned to her mother, she saw a new light reflected back at her, a mutual recognition of the past not as a shadow cast upon their lives, but as a foundation upon which to build communality and understanding. "Lily, I see you now," Sarah said, emotions colliding with palpable honesty. "I want to be part of that journey too. I want to embrace this with you." In that moment, time shifted. Their individual narratives began to intertwine, a relentless pursuit of breakthrough blossoming between those who claimed their familial legacies. What had once seemed like anonymous struggles now transformed into the channels from which aspirations could flow. With renewed vigor, Lily took a deep breath, embracing her identity rooted in hope and courage. She felt solid confidence rise like a tide, the course unfolding into promising pathways. She had nudged the doorway ajar, revealing the wonder waiting on the horizon, and she was ready to embrace it. Standing together now, mother and daughter in unison, they began to formulate a plan, etching their narrative anew, one founded in authenticity and the willingness to dig deep for the dreams long dormant. As they delved into their pasts, forging connections, walls crumbled, and hidden talents leapt into the light of acknowledgement. Lily, transformed, recognized her strength in vulnerability. She had conquered her fears and the limitations imposed by her past. The inheritance was not merely a fortune, it was a legacy written in hopes and ambitions that would propel them both forward into uncharted territories. Together, she whispered to herself, grounded by the knowledge that they were ready to confront life head-on, ready to shape the future from the remnants of the past. In that decisive moment, she smiled, her spirit ignited by the journey yet to come. This was a new chapter, one that would forever change the course of their lives. You need to subscribe now to not miss the next exclusive emotional stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and support our channel. Comment your reactions and theories about this powerful ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this conclusion. Don't wait even one more second to help us spread these transformative narratives.